patch 1207 is finally dropping, and while it's packed with new features, not everything is going to be available right away. So what can you actually do in week 1 and what's being saved for later? Well, in today's video I'm breaking down everything you can jump into the moment the patch drops, and towards the end we'll also take a look at what's coming in the weeks ahead. Hey everyone, Andrikats here and welcome back to my channel. Revelations is not really a minor patch at this point. I mean, it brings plenty of things to sink our teeth into and keep us busy until 12.1. There's a lot to talk about, so grab a coffee and let's get straight into it. To kick things off, the patch launches with a new raid, Sporefall, which will be available in all difficulties right away, and that includes LF4, Normal, Heroic, and the new Flexible Mythic. You'll find the entrance over at the Grunge Pit in Harendor. Before you head in though, make sure to grab the quest from the fungal guy in Silvermoon. Sporomir will give you a quest that requires killing the raid boss on any difficulty and rewards a Void Twisted Sporobit. This essentially acts as a bonus roll, similar to a Nebulous Void Core that you can use in your M+ runs, raid bosses, Nightmare Prey Hands or Bountiful Delves to grab that extra piece of gear. As far as Mythic Flex goes, you'll be able to take on the raid's hardest difficulty with a much more flexible setup, allowing you to bring anywhere from 15 to 25 people. This should give plenty of breathing room for guilds that usually struggle to hit the magic 20-man number. And even though we are still in Season 1, the loot from Rotmar will be dropping at a higher item level. LFR grants 259, Normal is 272, Heroic is 285, and Mythic goes all the way up to 298. And keep in mind that these items have the Sporefuse tag on the tooltip, meaning they cannot be upgraded further. Also, if you want to get the mount from this boss, you'll need to kill it 4 weeks total. Killing it every week earns you a delicious Spore Snack, and once you combine 4 of them, you'll get the luminous Spore Glider mount. If you are a mount collector, keep an eye out for my dedicated guide coming soon, where I walk you through how to obtain all the new mounts arriving with this patch. Moving on to some of the biggest additions in this patch, the new-ish zones Val and Naigtal. You might recognize these as Legion invasion points from Argus, and before you start thinking, come on Blizzard, recycling all content? Well, let me stop you right there. They are nothing like their Legion counterparts. For one, they are much bigger, with a lot of fresh ground to cover. They have evolved into full-on zones with new quests and plenty of activities to dive into. They even show up on the Voidstorm map, but to actually get there, you'll need to complete the intro questline. You can pick the starting quest from Riftblade Mela in the Silvermoon Void Assault area. You'll need to recruit a strike team, and it's a bit of an unorthodox one at that, featuring Illidari, Lightforged Draenei, and Void Elves. Regardless of this weird little strike team we got, they can help us repel the Dominar and Ethereals that have set up base in these worlds. Once that's all set, you'll unlock a rift portal, giving you access to the new zone. These zones rotate on a weekly basis, so depending on the week, you'll be sent to either Val or Naigtal. You can even choose then difficulty between Normal or Heroic tier. Normal is a bit more friendly experience, but Heroic is where the better gear and rewards come from. These zones have everything you will expect from modern WoW content: wall quests, rares to hunt, and bonus objectives. There is plenty to keep you busy here, especially on Heroic tier, where mobs gain affixes, buffs that empower them and frankly just make them more annoying to deal with. If you are heading into the Heroic tier, you need to be on high alert as well, because you'll literally be hunted. You'll see a pack of elites patrolling the area, visible also on the map, and running into them usually doesn't end well. Unless you are a tank, you're likely going to die, so you definitely want to stay away from those guys. That's not all though. Taking down mobs or doing activities will still attract their attention, and one of those elite mobs will eventually ambush you. It actually works a bit like the prey system, but a little less complicated. It happens in 2 stages. First, you'll be stalked, and as you take down more mobs, it turns into hunted. At that point, one of them can appear at any time to try and take you out. So keep your eyes peeled. These zones can also be used to get a bit of gear. Specifically, rares in Heroic tier drop champion wearbound gear. making this a fantastic way to gear up your alts. Each zone will feature a wall boss. Well, they're not exactly in the wall boss list, but they do have a lot of HP and drop higher gear than the current wall bosses. On normal mode, they drop champion gear, and on heroic, they drop heroic gear that can also be sent to your warband. That again can be useful for alts or even mains if you took a break for a while. And like I said, there is truly plenty of things to do in the new zones that should keep us busy for a while. Completing activities and quests in the zones will help you get achievements, and hitting certain meta achievements will unlock new mounts that you can purchase from Kifan. And while you're out there getting things done, don't forget to grab the weekly showdown quest from Mela or Decimus. This quest will give you a Rift Stalker's cache, which contains crests, field accolades, restore cover keys, and many more. And since I did mention Decimus here, if you're someone who mostly gears up through outdoor content, I've got some great news. Our frenemy Dominor has a quest for us that awards Myth Track Gear. This is actually the first time we're seeing Myth level items available from outdoor play. It's no rocket science either, you just need to kill the wall boss on Heroic tier 4 times, and you'll get to choose between a cloak, belt or bracers. It might not be the best in slot gear, especially if you are a regular raider or M+ player, but it's still an amazing piece to get for alts or solo players. Luckily, Blizzard also made sure that there is no penalty for starting late. If you fall behind on this quest, the weekly zone quest will offer catch-up items. This way you can easily get up to speed even if you join the patch a few weeks late. This is available for all of your characters provided that they're level 90. And like I said, it's a great way to get the highest level piece of gear, which can also be upgraded further using Myth and Dawn crests. More on those in a bit. All of these new activities will still grant field accolades, and way more than what we saw in 1205, so you can really go ham if you want to clear out the vendors. And trust me, there are a lot of vendors and a lot of things to collect this time around. You can buy cosmetics at the hubs in Naigtal and Val, including items that are part of 4 different Void Elf transmog sets, which by the way can also drop from rares in the zones. You can also pick up Lightforce Draenei weapons, decor and other goodies. Or if you're not a fan of those, you can head back to Silvermoon and spend your accolades on gear and even more cosmetics. And before I show you what you can buy, you should know that there is a new Lightforge beacon set up in the area that takes you straight to the Rift zones. Well, after you do the intro questline, so you won't have to go through the Voidstorm portal every single time. So the vendors in the Void Assault area have some new stock. Specifically, Maren now sells heroic caches, and I know they are quite expensive at 750 a piece, and hopefully Blizzard revisits that cost, but since they target specific slots, you won't be praying to the RNG gods. At the very least, you can use your accolades to fill in those stubborn gaps in your gear that refuse to drop elsewhere. If you have accolades to spare, you can also use them to buy champion warbound caches. With a price tag of 100 accolades, these are a really good deal, especially since they target specific gear slots. It's the perfect way to gear up your alts and a smart way to use those accolades that will otherwise just sit on a single character. At least at the time of recording, they still remain character specific. In addition to this, Dark Porticles are also seeing an increased drop rate and can be used to buy weapon appearances directly. The Transmog guy here sells 4 new pouches, each containing a random weapon cosmetic from Naga, Amani, Twilight, or Blood Elves. Apparently, these can still drop from regular Void Assaults, but this is a much more direct way to pick up any appearances you might be missing, which is perfect if you are trying to finish off your collection. Speaking of Void Assaults, the Ritual sites also received a major update and are now offering a brand new tier. You can try out the tier 6 in difficulty, and for that one you'll have to activate 6 challenges. This definitely wraps up the difficulty, but the rewards are well worth the effort. While the Great Vault reward won't be any higher, you'll now earn 5 Myth Dawn crests per run. This is huge because it provides a repeatable way to farm Myth crests as a solo player. It might not be the fastest method out there, but if you prefer flying solo, it's a fantastic new option. And especially now that the crest cap has also been lifted, well, you can go crazy. Beyond the new difficulty tier, Lady Darkland will offer 6 weekly ritual side quests. You'll find her right outside the active ritual site of the week, and she'll ask you to activate specific affixes in tier 6. Finishing the quest during week 3 and week 6 will reward you with another nebulous void core, giving you 2 extra bonus rolls for the patch. Plus, there are new achievements to hand and a new title, the Ritual Breaker. As you can see, this patch is definitely not a small one, and there's clearly no shortage of things to do. If you are feeling a bit overwhelmed already, don't worry, I'm right there with you. So let's return to a rather easy system. In essence, it's a new borrow power system, something we've seen before. But before you roll your eyes, wait, this isn't just for this patch and it's not a new item, it's just access to a new talent tree that grants us passive abilities, meaning no extra work for us to do, and gives us nice buffs that will stay with us for the rest of Midnight. To kick things off, grab the quest The Magister's Call from your adventure guide or find the scroll in the Void Assault area. This sends you to the Thalassian University where Romath will portal you over to the Magister's Terrace. Once there, you'll team up with Magister Ambric, apparently his new best friend, and uncover more about an ancient elven relic known as the Sunstrider Omnium. Upon completing the intro questline, you'll unlock the Omnium Folio, which you can interact with from a new icon found attached to your minimap. Think of it as a new talent tree filled with passives. You'll start by choosing between a light or void proc, and from there, you can empower that core rune as you progress further down the tree. To unlock nodes, you'll need a mote, which is awarded from the weekly Seeking Knowledge quest. This quest usually asks you to do, well, things you are probably already doing, like ritual sites and voice strikes. And the best part about this tree is that these aren't permanent choices. You are free to experiment and swap the abilities anytime you're out of combat, making it easy to find the perfect setup for whatever you are doing. While this is another borrow power system, it's designed to last for the remainder of Midnight, so I think it's worth doing. Don't forget that you'll need to visit Romath and Ambric every week to grab the new quest. Or maybe you can find it in your adventurer's guide. And since this building can be a bit of a maze, here's a tip. You want to head for the Isle of Quel'Danas, specifically land on this balcony area. Take a left and follow the corridor to the Lycinium. And they're just up the stairs. As a nice bonus, completing the Seeking quest for 5 weeks will net you a unique housing decor that's a replica of the Sunstrider Omnium. It's a great little trophy to show off that you actually bothered to do it. And I mean, you anyways wanna do it to get that extra power. Now let's get back to Silvermoon. When the patch drops, you'll notice that the Lorewalking corner looks a bit different. Lorewalker Cho has moved on, replaced by a familiar face and grown-up Lily Stormstout. She's kicking things off with a brand new story focused on the Loa, which is the perfect time to brush up on your troll history and re-experience some classic troll moments. And the fun fact here, one of the featured stories includes part of the Darkspear Troll Heritage questline, and it's now available to play through regardless of your character's race. And I think this is pretty great because you get to see that content even if you haven't leveled a troll yet. Speaking of trolls, there is a new questline in Zulaman, centered around the Loa Janalai. You'll be assisting her speaker Breg in protecting a fresh clutch of eggs. It's a quick and fun side story, and by the end, you'll walk away with Emberlin, an incredibly cute Dragonhawk pet. You should know that it's not a battle pet, it cannot fight, but for the collectors, it's a must-have. If you do care only about player power, I think you can safely skip this. Now for the housing enthusiast, there is plenty to see your teeth into. After a long wait, we finally have exterior lighting. Now you can add torches, fireplaces, and even windows to your yards. The only restriction is that you cannot stack them too closely. A radius will show up to prevent you from overlapping light sources. But even then, I think it's a win. As a nice addition to the outdoor lighting, our exterior decor limit is also going up, as long as you have been leveling up your house, which I'm sure you all have, right? What's your current level? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so now you can reach a maximum of 315 budget points at a level 7. This is great because it means we can keep our gardens and yards exactly as they are while still having enough room to add those new light sources for a better ambience. That's not even all. The neighborhood vendors are getting a huge restock. You'll find new decor items like hay, torches, and even gravestones if you are going for a creepier style. There are also fences and signs and lots of ropes, which I've been told are perfect for a potential treehouse. You'll find more fancy elven-style decors like wash basins and bathtubs. I am sure my not-so-humble Blood Elf house is about to get a whole lot fancier. My personal favorite addition, though, is the new square rack. You can dye it and it can be used to create a bazillion different things. Think swimming pools or even custom skyboxes. It's definitely time to think outside the box, and hopefully this will blend a bit nicer than its circular counterpart. The patch also comes with many quality of life improvements and updates. For example, you can tweak your UI even further. You'll see updates to the damage meters, allowing them to be much smaller, which, was a huge annoyance for me personally, so I'm glad they fixed that. You can also do a lot more with your personal resource bar. You can now have separate health, power, or class resource bars, and you can individually change each one and just place them right where you need them. We also have a lot of leveling buffs coming for one-time delve quests and dungeons and prey hunts and many other things, but I think leveling is probably best saved for the following weeks. Why? Because from June 30th until August 11th, we'll have the Turbulent Timeways event, and this means even more experience buffs. As you might know, this patch does include a new main story, but unfortunately, we'll have to wait a bit to actually play through it. The next main campaign chapter arrives the week of July 7th, where we'll see the continuation of the Midnight campaign, and more specifically the Zulaman story. As you can expect, because this arrives a few weeks into the patch, it's going to act as a prolong to our next major patch 12.1. By the time we finish that chapter, the wait for the next major patch will not be much longer at all. And last but definitely not least, for the holiday lovers, there is a new micro-holiday running from June 27th to the 29th called the Dark Spear Dash, inspired by the community's running of the Trolls event. You can join the Dark Spear Trolls and walk from the Enquiries all the way up to Silvermoon. We're also getting a few updates to the Midsummer Festival, which runs from June 21st until July 5th. My favorite reward is a brand new mount coming from the holiday boss, so make sure to queue up for the seasonal boss, Ahun, when the time comes. I think that pretty much covers it all, but let me know if I did forget something. I didn't go through every single minor tweak, so I've left a link to the official patch notes below for you to peruse at your leisure. Honestly, most of the content is available right from the get-go, which is fantastic, but we'll definitely have things to look forward to in the coming weeks. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and even better, you can come hang out on the stream, where I'll be playing through all of this new stuff live. So tell me, which feature are you most excited about? I'm curious. As always, thank you so much for sticking around until the very end, and make sure to drop a like if you have found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more WoW coverage and hit the bell to stay up to date. It's completely free and it really helps me out. If you're feeling extra generous, you can check out the other ways to support the channel in the description. But honestly, just being here until the very end and feeding the algorithm helps more than you think. So seriously, thank you. Good luck with whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!